Yo, it is time for our daily Pantheon 5-hour build as usual as Mark of Pride, Unbreakable Strength, Quick Slash, Nailmaster's Glory and Steady Body. So let's do it. Let's go, hardest boss in the game. Let's go. I should make a guide for massive moss charger. This boss too hard. Too hard. Garana? We can make this the thumbnail. Like, I don't wanna insult Gold, the mastermind Gold, but other than being boring, he offers like no challenge. Hope all of you Gold fans out there are not insulted by what I said. Bafunde indeed. Bafunde. Ow! Got hit by a dunk ball. That hurts. This is my favorite character of Hollow Knight because he's such a happy dude and it's always fun to interact with him, unlike all the other dramatic or, I don't know, sad characters or very serious characters like Hornet. No, actually Sly is not that serious and dramatic. Sly is also kinda cool, I would say. Yes, oh. I almost got hit there. That was not safe. But it's okay. Brothers always fight together. If you say so. Ah, I fucked it up. Sedge. Well, could have been better, but doesn't really matter. It's not a hitless run. For those of you who are wondering, I did for a while try running hitless Pantheon 5. And my personal best was getting 3 hits. And at some point I just gave up on it. It was too tedious to continue trying to get that one hitless run, that one 0 hit run. It was just too much time and effort for something that really doesn't do anything, you know? It's like bragging rights, right? You feel like you're a pro gamer if you get that, but I already got all bindings and I feel like that's gamer enough. And that was actually less tedious than hitless. Hitless is harder. Oops. Okay, I need to set my keyboard better because it keeps dropping. Okay, this should be better. So yeah, I'm using this kind of pad for the keyboard, but the problem is that the pad is taller than the keyboard itself. The keyboard is kind of low, so I need to set it up in a way that they both sit around the same line so it would be comfortable, otherwise it's annoying. And yeah, I play Hollow Knight on keyboard. I am a keyboard gamer, always have been. I don't think that every game is better on keyboard. I actually think that's a very wrong statement. But specifically Hollow Knight, because of how the controls work, I think is perfect. It is a perfect game for keyboard. Some other things work better with an analog joystick and with a controller. Like Rocket League. When I played Rocket League with a controller, it was a much more enjoyable experience. Rocket League with the keyboard is just not the same, in my opinion. Just much more fun on the controller. But it really depends on what you're playing. Because like, I find Souls games, like Sekiro and like Elden that you've seen my videos, Elden Ring, I find the keyboard very effective in these games. And also in 2D games and platformers, I feel like keyboard is the right idea. Like Cuphead and Celeste and Hollow Knight and stuff like that. Really depends on the game. And really depends on you as a player as well, because if you enjoy a specific input, if you are used to a controller, and also a lot of people are just the opposite of me, they have issues with keyboard. It's uncomfortable for them and stuff like that. So I completely understand it. But for me, my hands really cannot tolerate controller mostly. I can't play with a controller for a long period of time. Hurts my hands. I get some issues in my hands because of years of guitar playing. That kinda wrecked my left hand. Well, maybe wrecked is kinda exaggerated, because the hand is still fine, but there are specific repetitive motions that I just can't do for a long period of time with my left hand. And that's why keyboard is better for my left hand. Also for my right hand, you get to rest your wrists on the pad, which is really nice. Which is something you don't get to do with a controller. But with a controller you can like lay back when you're playing, like chill, you know, like play a game and chill, which is cool. But there's a lot more load on your wrists and on your thumbs, and like, I don't know. It's a trade-off. And in the end, for me, as a PC gamer for years, keyboard remains the best option. That was kinda weird that if you dash through the blue attack, it just disappears. That's really weird. Why would they do it like that? I think it's a bug. Makes more sense that it's a bug than something intended. It was a solid fight. Solid dodges. Pancake Man, let's go. Or as they say, Elder... Who? Well, they don't say it, I say it, but, you know. The camera frame rate is much better like this. Let me know what you guys think about the webcam frame rate. I see that in the last videos, when I have some more light in the room, the frame rate is much better. The webcam looks more smooth. But that's up to you if you wanna see more of me. More frames of me. I think overall, higher quality videos is better. It doesn't really change much in the, like, in the aftermath of everything. Time for Grim. I always do the same thing with Grim. I think having strats for every boss as muscle memory, not something that you like try to like remember out of your, like, if you wake me up in the middle of the night, I probably won't even remember my strat for every boss, but once I see him and my hands kinda know what to do, you know? That's also why my guides, that's also why when I make my boss guides, I make them while fighting the boss, because my brain remembers what to do and then I can describe it to you while I'm doing it. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. It's just a lot of muscle memory and a lot of good habits that I got from running Pantheon 5 all bindings. When you do all bindings, you learn how strong you really are in Pantheon 5. People get to Pantheon 5 and it's a big challenge and they think it's really hard. And I agree. It's a big challenge and it's really hard. But when you do all bindings, you realize how strong you really are with having 9 lives, with having such a strong maxed out nail, with having charms. And when you adapt to all bindings, you truly learn how to play the game, if that makes sense. You truly learn how to dodge, you truly learn how to use nail outs. That's where you really become very good at the game, like at the top of your gaming. Things like all bindings. That's why I'm really happy that all of these things are, they're not even like external challenges. You know, like in Souls games, you've got Soul level 1 or Rune level 1 or stuff like that, which are basically external challenges. Like it's not like the game has that option. I mean, obviously you always have an option to not upgrade anything, but it's not like part of the game to do that and to gain something from it. But in Hollow Knight, all bindings is actually a challenge that's built into the game. And I really appreciate that they gave you a boss rush that is hard already, and then they gave you an option to do it even harder as a built-in option in the game, instead of like giving you a boss rush and that's it, you know, and do whatever the fuck you want. Oops, that dash was not good. Okay, where is le jellyfish? Here is the jellyfish. I should not have dashed like that. And I fucked up. Okay. So yeah, Hollow Knight is really well made and polished. It does have a lot of bugs and glitches. I have seen the people who do speedruns with the glitches, and the glitches are insane. But it is still very well made. Especially for an indie game. It's probably the benchmark for indie games these days. Just such a well-made, well thought of project, you know? And I also think that's why Silksong is such a anticipated project as well. Because this turned out from something that no one knew into a huge thing. Hollow Knight is a huge thing, so... Imagine if Silksong is half good as this. Only half. Imagine. It will still be an amazing game. Probably not a 10 out of 10 like this, but still it would be an amazing game. Yeah, Sly is one of the cooler characters in the game. Ah, oops. Oops. Dale. Sha? Ow. Adidas? Well, let's stretch before the big boys. I'm thinking that next time I do Pantheon 5, well, maybe not next time, like tomorrow, but one of the next few times that I'm gonna do Pantheon 5, I'm gonna try and, while I'm fighting the bosses, see if I can remember the lore behind every boss, or at least where you encounter them in the base game or something like that, and talk about that for a bit. That can be really cool. Lost Kin has been one of my worst enemies in my first playthrough. I died to him so many times. Yeah, it's better to not jump into there. I did not see that ghost. Thunder! No! No! Give me a juggle! Yes! Juggle is so fun. I love juggling. No reason for me to heal here. There's a checkpoint. Okay, time for the big boys. Are we ready? I think we're ready. We are ready, let's go. Pum 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 pum. Oops. Pum pum pum. Ah, I fucked it up. It's okay. The big boys are coming, Marcos and Zod. Ah. Oh! Come on, the dagger just spawned there? Are you kidding me? So yeah, that's what makes Markov a really shitty boss, with those daggers spawning on you like that. It's RNG that sometimes you just can't do anything about. So you can always Dream Nail Zod once at the start. If you didn't know that, now you do. It is very bad to be in a corner like this. Don't do it. Believe me, it's bad. When he's staggered, you can heal twice. Yeah, every time you're in a corner against a boss like this, it's bad. You don't want to be in a corner. Just try and aim for being at the center of the arena at all times. You can use D-Dark to try and get out of stuff, but I would just recommend not getting into the corner like I just did. Just don't do it. And yeah, you can Cyclone this guy off the bat the moment he drops down. And that makes the fight a whole lot easier. You see, everything works smoother because we did that. It's easier to stagger him, it's easier to do everything. Because we put on that initial damage. It's a hitless fight easily. That's why I also say you don't need a special setup for this fight. Because it's not that hard of a fight. You just need to know what you're doing. Also the same thing goes for NKG. Although it's a harder fight, obviously, than Failed Champion. Because this fight you actually need to have decent reaction time. Because he is quite fast. And he does double damage. And he has a lot of HP. But overall, it's kind of the same principle. Not exactly, kinda. And I got a comment saying that you should use Cyclone at the end of the Pillars attack. We can try that, but I think it's not safe to do that. I mean, I can try it. Okay, I mean, I don't see the big advantage of doing that. Maybe it's just me. Like, I think if you want to be safe when you're fighting him and when you're doing the pillars, I think it's a much better way to either shriek or just do a normal like nail out like this. It's just safer, you know? And against a boss that does double damage, I think being safe is better than dealing a bit more damage every time. That's how I see it. And I think it's the right way because in the end you want to win. And doing this, like, you need to time it well and not get hit by the pillar and still get a few ticks of Cyclone in. I don't know. I don't like it. I would say just use what I do in the guide, which is not this. Just use a normal nail out. Slack. Just do this. And that's it. Okay, it's time for our final bosses. PV and Abzrad. Pure Vessel, because he's so fast, you need to play differently. You can't play like you play against Failed Champion or NKG. You always need to respect double damage bosses, except Traitor Lord, because he's like so easy to play around with his moveset. It's literally the same thing every time. But Pure Vessel is a real one. You want to be very careful with Pure Vessel. And very calm and collected against him. Because he can easily fuck you up in a few successive attacks. And then you find yourself wondering, will I be able to heal from this? And it's literally one boss away from the ending of the Pantheon. Oops. It's the sun! We're fighting the sun! Whoa. It was kinda scary. By the way, one nice thing that you can do is change your build for the final two bosses for PV and Absred, and you can use Shaman Stone. Because Shriek on Absrad is a lot of damage, and using Shaman Stone can melt Absrad very fast. I mean, that was very, very good. Very, very fast. And the orbs here are tricky, and you wanna master the pogo for this stage. You also wanna try and bait the orbs outside of the arena because they despawn there. We did it! So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow. But I will try in the next few Pantheon 5 runs to do some kind of a lore run. Talk about every boss, where I fought him in the base game and what I know about him in the lore. Add a bit of interest while you're watching me beating the Pantheon. I think it would be nice. Let's go. 38 minutes! We're improving substantially. Hey guys, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.